Hello and welcome to Bonus Dad.
Bonus Daughter, a special father-daughter podcast with me, Hannah.
And me, Davey, where we discuss our differences, similarities,
Share a few laughs and stories
within our ever-changing and complex world.
Each week we will discuss a topic
From our own point of view.
and influences throughout the decades.
Or you could choose one by contacting us.
Via email, Instagram, Facebook or TikTok. Hello and welcome to another episode of Bonus Dad, Bonus Daughter podcast. We are here live in the living room. Why do I keep saying live?
I don't know, because we're not, well, we're live.
Well, we are live.
But
Live from the living room.
this is pre-recorded
Live.
for YouTube and also for Spotify
Audio.
and other audio streaming platforms are available.
Hello,
as
audio
in
listeners.
all
How
of
are
them.
you today? I hope you are well.
What are we going to talk about today, Hannah?
We are going to talk about artificial intelligence.
Indeed.
Intelligence of which I do not possess.
I know I said this is going to be a two-parter, but I genuinely don't know if it will. It might be a one-part, it might be a two-part. We'll just have to see how it goes.
Okay, so we're
yeah.
pre-warning them already that this possibly could be a two-part.
This could be a two-parter because I did do quite a lot. Bizarrely enough, I got AI to look up everything about AI.
Because we don't use AI already for all of our podcasts.
Not all
scripts.
of them. We do.
The games we don't.
The games we don't. No. But
But everything else.
But before we talk about that,
No.
jump straight into the episode, have you got any life updates?
Booked a holiday.
You booked a holiday, yes?
Yeah, going away in September for mine and my husband's 10-year anniversary of being together, not married.
No.
It'll actually be 2.5 years we've been married by then. Other than that,
You went away with your mum, didn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I censored myself.
We literally just
spoke about
we've
this.
just been
I'm
talking
so
about
sorry.
this. Yeah.
I went to Wales. That was
Yeah.
pretty cool. Saw some mountains. Saw Snowdon.
Mhm.
Didn't go on it, but saw it because the weather was too poor
Yeah.
and everyone was injured. Yeah, had a whale of time.
See, I like that. See, that has actually filled me with a little bit of confidence about you and your mum.
What?
The fact that you actually determined that the weather was too bad so that you didn't go up.
Oh yeah, we are the epitome of safety.
Yeah, well, are you though?
Yes.
Are you though?
Yes.
Because quite often you and your mum do things that do terrify me.
They're only terrifying to you because you're scared of them.
I'm not scared of them. I just risk assess things.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
It's fine.
Like last time we went up to Snowdon. I've told that story before in here.
I think you have.
Yeah, I
think
have.
you
Yeah.
Yeah, so I still have yet to conquer Snowdon.
Mm-hmm.
I still haven't.
You've never actually been up there.
Nope.
Mm.
I've never been on a mountain yet. I've only ever been on peaks.
Really?
Yeah.
Not even abroad. You've not been on a mountain.
Well, I don't think so.
Oh, okay.
Can you? In my history of,
Come to think of it, no, I can't think of any time.
we were on
you
a
have.
very, very, very tall hill in Croatia because we got a cable car up there, but I don't think that's a mountain.
Oh, when you go to Tenerife, there's a
Yeah.
volcano.
Ooh.
You could go at the volcano. We
So-
didn't go when we went to Tenerife, but there is a volcano there.
Well,
so
we're
you could
going
go on that.
we're going to Tenerife, and we're actually hiring a car out there so we can explore the island.
Yes.
We're also going to Siam Park, which is a big water park there.
Yeah.
It's very rare that Mitchell and I go away on holiday and not go to like some sort of park or theme park. But yeah, this is our first ever all-inclusive couple holiday. We've been on holidays just us two a lot, but never all-inclusive. So I'm gonna get me a massage.
Yeah.
I want to be like, I just want to be. It's adult-only hotel as well. I just want to be pampered.
Oh, are you sure? Have you looked up the hotel?
I have.
If it's an adult-only hotel, are you sure that it's on the level?
What do you mean on the level?
Because there are some hotels in Tenerife
Right.
that are swinger resorts.
Oh.
You might just want to check that out. When it says adult-only hotel, you might want to check that out because that was something that was mentioned to me and your mum when we were in Tenerife. The hotel we stayed at wasn't, but we did hear from people there that sometimes when it says it's an adult-only hotel, it's an adult-only hotel for a reason.
Oh, well, this looks really posh and really nice.
Is it? I'm sure it does.
Are they masquerading as a?
Well, you never know.
Oh well, I'm not putting my keys in a bowl.
Is there anything? Are there any pineapples?
Oh yeah, it's pineapples, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, what's the keys in the bowl thing? Is that swingers?
Yeah, I think so.
Or is that just orgies in general?
Well, I don't know. I've not really been involved in
I'm actually really glad that you don't know the answer to that, to be honest. Okay. Are you shocked that I might know the answer to that? I don't know. Yeah. Moving on.
Yeah, so you might just want to check that.
Oh, it's only got 150 rooms. I suppose it's 150 couples swinging, I suppose.
Yeah.
isn't it?
You just might want to just double check that just to be on the safe side.
We just wanted no children there. Like, is that too much to ask? Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe massage doesn't mean massage either. Oh.
Yeah, just have another little look at that just to be on the safe side.
I mean, if they are swinging there, like, I don't mind. I just don't want to participate.
Well, exactly. Yeah. I mean, each to
will
their
they
own.
force me to participate?
Force you?
Coerce me.
I
That
mean,
feels like a crime.
Yeah,
That's a crime.
That's
right?
a crime. That's
Right,
a crime.
okay.
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, if that's your thing, then that's your thing. You know, and there's nothing, no judgment here at all. But just not for me. Thank you. It was actually Tenerife that we
Swung for the first time.
God.
Do you know what's lovely about this conversation is that we're father-daughter and we can have this without it being awkward.
See, this is what is good about our relationship,
Yeah.
because we can have these conversations and just have a laugh about it, and it is quite funny. But it was in Tenerife when I did that Julio get the stretch joke. It was there.
Yeah, I actually thought about that when I booked it.
Did you?
I was like, I wonder if we'll ever meet someone called Julio and I'll have to recreate the
Yeah, that
sorry,
just
show some branding. Recreate the
other
the
fast
joke.
food restaurants are available.
Yes.
Yeah. Product placement and all that jazz. Yeah, that fell completely on deaf ears. I thought it was hilarious. I was chuckling to myself.
I think that's one of those dad. Oh my gosh, it's a dad joke. I heard the best dad joke ever the other day. Do you want to hear it?
Go on.
If you ever get an email from me with the subject line canned meat, just know it's spam.
Oh, for Christ's sake. That's abysmal. That is actually abysmal. That's terrible.
Got a chuckle out of me on Instagram.
Yeah, well done.
Maybe I'm a dad.
Yeah. I got another one of those text messages again the other day.
Ooh.
One of those ones said, "Hi Dad, this is my new number."
Ah.
I get, I do get them occasionally.
Do you think you have a secret like child out there?
Oh, definitely not.
You're very confident with that.
Yeah.
I'm glad
Yeah.
you're confident with that.
Yeah, definitely not.
Always rub it up.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Oh, dear God.
that's
So
where the line is crossed.
Yeah,
isn't it?
there's a line. Yeah. So that's your life update.
Yeah,
Hannah's going to a swinging resort. I have a life update.
Oh.
Yes.
Am I aware of this life update?
No, you are aware of this life update because you are actually going to help out on this as well.
Oh, Christ.
Because we have now got the gig booked.
Ah.
Yes. So on the 3rd of October, in the year of our
Shameless
Lord,
plug.
AD, I know, shameless plug,
Go on.
2025,
Do you
at
know
the
what?
Adrian Flux Waterfront in Norwich, Mammal Not Fish are doing their 10th anniversary show, and it's going to be massive.
A lot of 10th anniversary things this year.
There are a lot of 10th anniversaries.
I will do the courtesy of not only putting up the poster,
Mm-hmm.
I will also put a link in if anyone is Norwich based or not Norwich based, I suppose, and wants to come see your gig. I can put it on our on the thing.
We've got
I'll
some.
do that for you.
We've got some great supports. I'm not going to say who the supports are because they will
Cheeky.
be announced later on in a couple of months' time.
Can I cough it? There you go.
No, you actually just said it.
No, I didn't.
You did.
No, I didn't.
You did. I heard you say who one of the supports was.
I literally coughed.
Yeah, but you know who they are, don't you?
No. I literally just coughed. That was all I was doing.
All right, because you do know who they
Was
are.
it a
told you.
one-syllable thing?
One of them is, yeah.
Oh. I feel like we might have just revealed it then.
Yeah. No,
I just kind of, honestly, I swear to God, I was just coughing.
Okay. All
As a
right.
joke.
Yeah. So yes. So 10 years. So Mammal Not Fish has been going for 10 years.
As of Hannah and Mitchell.
Yeah, that's nuts, isn't it?
It's weird that you started the same year that Mitchell and I got together. How was that married up?
I don't know. Because we formed at Ferry Fest that
Also,
year.
Archie is 10 years old this year. as
Archie's
well.
10 years, yeah.
Yeah, Archie the dog.
I know.
Should we put a
bless him.
picture of him up?
Yeah, let's put a picture of our Archie
Here's
up.
Archie.
Yeah.
My furry brother.
Yeah, bless
Not
him.
Furry and
Yeah.
furry as an animal.
Yeah.
An actual animal. Again, no judgment.
No. So we are, some of the songs we're doing, we're doing our entire pretty much catalogue, all the way from like really early stuff. We're even rewriting one of our very early songs that isn't ska, because when we first started off, we didn't know what we were going to be. But one particular song called
Crazy Daisy.
No, Over My Dead Body.
Over My Dead Body.
Yeah.
Great song.
And you know the guitar screech that Peach does in the chorus to that, where it goes, whee!
I'm going to go with yes.
Yeah, okay. Pierre's going to do that on sax.
Ooh.
So then Peach can then do the chucks underneath. It's going to sound amazing. It's going to sound absolutely
So you're
awesome.
rewriting one of your songs to actually do it in the style that you actually do.
Yeah, exactly. One of
Are you
our very
doing,
early songs. We only ever performed that song once, I think.
Hair than a 6-foot Wookie. Wake up. Sure.
Yeah.
Do wake up.
We're doing Wake Up.
Gotta do wake up.
We're doing Wake Up.
Wake up. Ooh.
Yeah. We were doing that the other day.
Yeah.
I nearly fell over.
Wake up's got to go.
Yeah.
In. What about We Own the?
Well, yeah, because that's our latest single.
We own the. No.
Do you know where that song came from? Do you know where?
Corona.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was when COVID was really a thing, and we started off in the recording studio, and we were all just chanting "Corona, Corona, it's not beer, it's dangerous," and the song got born from that. The song was born from that. Yeah, Jack was just pissing himself laughing in the studio when we did that, and we're even going to play interlude.
Ooh.
So the song that we actually wrote in the studio, which is completely instrumental.
Nice.
Peach freaked out. He went, "Oh my God, I can't remember how to play that." It's like, yeah, you can. You'll be fine.
Poor Peach.
You'll be fine. You'll be fine.
Forced against his will. Is it the full complete band? No substitutes?
No substitutes. The full, all original members.
OGs.
OGs.
Come back from the grave.
We never had anybody come in, though, to help out. It's always been...
Did you not have... Was drummer not replaced a little...
No, Joe's always been the drummer.
I thought Joel did one of your gigs once.
No, Joel was going to.
I think he was Joe was poorly or something.
Yeah, Joel was on standby.
Oh, he was on standby.
He was on
because Joe
standby.
was poorly,
Yeah, but no, Joe's always been.
I just suddenly thought, oh, maybe.
Yeah, because Joe has now finished his degree.
Has he graduated?
He has graduated.
Has he thrown his hat in the air?
He has thrown his hat in the air. He has graduated.
Capped.
He is now a fully fledged archaeologist, specialising in pottery.
So he's Indiana Jones.
Joe is Indiana Jones.
Indiana Jones.
Indiana Jones, yeah. And Benji on the trains. Do you know that? No, Benji works on the trains now.
No.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, so no, he still works.
For Greater Anglia? Or?
No, he still works where he works. But the weekends, he does the Burr Valley Railways. So like the old steam train.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, he does that, yeah.
He's basically Francis, you know, the train spotter guy?
Yeah. Benji absolutely
Our very
loves
own Francis. His Francis's last name is something I can't
it.
pronounce.
Bourgeois. Yeah.
French, I think.
But he's a national treasure. I love him.
Oh my gosh, he's great.
He's amazing.
I think he might be, what's it called?
I just realised this is now definitely going to be a two-part. We're like 12 minutes in and we haven't even started the episode yet.
Francis is going to be the new host of the Grand Tour.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah,
I saw that.
Yeah.
So there are a couple of life updates there. Holiday, just a couple. So shall we dive into the episode and start talking about artificial intelligence?
I think we ought to.
Yeah, because we have mentioned it a few times, haven't we?
Yeah.
It comes up periodically in other episodes and in different things. So I thought, let's do. Well, I say this episode's actually been written for quite a while, and we just not really got around to doing it. So I thought we'll just do a whole episode on AI.
Oui.
Yeah. So I looked at the ancient concepts of AI, because bizarrely enough, you might think artificial intelligence is quite a new thing, but it's not.
Ooh.
It really isn't. It's been around
as a concept.
Yeah.
As we know, AI today is quite new, but
yeah, I mean it's sped up, hasn't it? The
accelerated,
the whole that's the word I was thinking of. The whole concept of artificial intelligence has completely accelerated in the past few years, and it is starting to come into everyday life as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Even if someone's totally against using ChatGPT, which I know some people are, environmental factors, job losses, etc., whatever your views are on that, probably won't go into it. We'll just go more surface level as we often do. But you'd be surprised to learn that AI is used for a lot of things. So AI is used when you are job hunting, because CVs get AI'd, summarised. People use it in emails. People use it for all sorts of things, automations, etc. Oh, no.
Sorry, I had
segue.
Yeah, segue. No, it's to do with job applications. So it's a funny story. So I received a job application from somebody who wanted to be interviewed for a job, and when they'd actually filled their application form out, they'd copied and pasted the whole thing from ChatGPT.
Right, so they had the little first line bit,
including the question they asked it. And then where it was a little bit later on, and then they asked it another question to now please add in this section, and they literally just copied and pasted the whole thing and slotted it. I thought that is the epitome of laziness.
Idiot.
I mean, I completely understand.
Did you hire them?
No, I completely understand using AI because we all use AI. I use it quite a lot as work as well.
Yeah.
But play around with it a little bit.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know.
ChatGPT has this really cool function called Canvas, which means that you can go in, you can open the thing that it's created, and then you can edit like individual paragraphs and sentences, which is pretty cool. Oh, I think it's pretty cool anyway. I use AI in my job. My job, sometimes I need it to help me write emails to clients if the subject matter is a little sensitive or something like that, or I've used it. Yeah, I do use it pretty much almost daily at work, to be fair.
Yeah, I use it quite often.
Yeah. So I guess we are pro AI in that sense.
Yes, I'm pro to. I think it's got its uses. I think it does have its uses within society.
And I don't know if we're coming up to this, but there are like lots of medical advances that are happening with
100%.
AI. Like there's like this scan that you can do. You can have a whole body scan, and essentially what it's looking for is skin cancer. So it categorizes and maps all of your moles, and then if you go again, it will notice the changes that a human wouldn't be able to necessarily know from one year to another. Like a human brain can't remember that information. I guess you could have a doctor that looks you up and down and writes every individual mole and measures them, but AI is so much quicker at just identifying and there are a lot of medical advances in that. Again, I don't know if we're touching on this later, but there are pros to AI, and I know there's a lot going around about. I understand that it is taking jobs and it's taking, I guess, the art of human intelligence of actually coming up with something yourself and the creative fields as well. Although I don't think it's intelligent enough yet to make a song, write a book. There's still something wrong with it. Like it's never 100%, and I think that's what a lot of people don't seem to.
It's logical. I think to go down like a philosophical viewpoint. It's could you argue is AI sentient? Well, that's the difference. I think, is it sentient? Is it thinking for itself, or is it just collating data that's already there and churning it back out in another format?
Yeah.
That's the difference. But because the whole point of I think therefore I am is AI actually thinking, or is it analysing data and then putting it forward? Yeah.
I think that there is high debate, but I always think that the people that are often saying, oh, it shouldn't be using creative fields, probably haven't used it because it does not churn out the best result.
It doesn't.
I've tried, as in jokingly tried. Like we did the Mad Libs, for example, and there was a couple of things that I had to change in there. I was like, what are you doing? Like, that's not right. So it's not quite there yet to write full, fantastically written novels or full,
It's very clinical, because I asked it. I asked it once to write me.
I think is the best way to describe it. Actually, it's very surface level, but also academic, I guess, in that sense, rather than creative. Rather than creative.
Yeah, I mean, I asked it to write me a song, and don't get me wrong, the cadence was there, the patterns, everything was in there. But when you're actually reading the lyrics, it's like this actually means nothing.
Nothing, yeah.
There's no emotion behind it. There's no feeling behind it. It doesn't. It was just almost like it was written by AI. You can see it was. I mean, is that something that could AI become sentient later on down the line? Is it something that
are we going to have AI pop stars?
Possibly. I mean, we already kind of have, really.
What do you mean?
Well, because AI isn't just ChatGPT, is it? Well, you've also got the AI image, and that's where we can come on later on, where it could be perceived to be quite dangerous in that respect, regarding deep fakes and all of that. But I think it's like a lot of things, really. I think it's useful. It would be. It does save time, but like everything we invent, it can be abused, and that's where you've got to kind of draw the line a little bit and go, because human beings just can't be trusted with shit. At the end of the day, we just can't be trusted with this kind of, quite often with these types of technologies, because we abuse it.
We do.
We abuse it.
And the fear is always going to be that AI will take over.
Yeah, there is. I mean, well, probably
they've got their own language, haven't they?
Yeah.
Gibberlink.
Oh, yeah. Did you see that?
I did see Gibberlink. Yeah. The three phones all talking to each other. I
Oh
was talking
my
to
God.
Mitchell about that the other day.
Yeah, that was nuts. That was because
Yeah,
it was
all
like
start talking to each other in their own language.
wasn't it too like
Something was to like authorize something, and then there was a tool in there to stop the authorization of something. So there was the three. So one thing was contacting another thing to authorize like an identification process or something, and then there was one in the middle that was designed to essentially block that from happening.
yeah
And it recognized that it was talking to an AI bot.
yeah
So the AI recognized it's like, oh, I realize I'm talking to an AI system. Basically, let's go to our own language.
yeah.
And that was like,
Well, the one that I saw was I think it was a company was trying to book a hotel room
oh,
for
you saw a
someone
different
else.
target
Yeah,
then.
and it was the same thing. And but the AI bot recognised that the booking system was also an AI bot, and they
Yeah.
both said on their saying, "Oh, shall we switch over to Gibberlink
Yeah.
and to streamline the process?" And then you just said like,
It almost like sounded like if a human was underwater.
Yeah.
That it's a weird language. Like it's like yeah. It's like
Yeah.
I imagine that's what dial-up would have sounded like if it was a human. That's what I think it sounded
Yeah.
like.
Yeah.
Because we only had the like that thing, and I reckon that's.
Can you remember dial-up?
This is the thing. Like, obviously, it was just in the cusp of my memory.
Yeah.
That I'm not sure if I remember it or if it's just loads of things that I remember the concept of dial-up, but do I remember the noise? No, I think it's just because I've heard it on videos.
I remember
and
that
things.
noise.
Yeah.
I remember that noise.
What dreams are made of.
Yeah. But,
Shall we?
Yeah, let's kind of go through
get back
this.
to
Yeah.
script?
So I looked at kind of where the whole concept of AI came from, and there are a couple of really ancient concepts.
Go on.
So the first one is in kind of Greek mythology. So this is kind of
this
your
is my
bag.
bag.
This is your bag.
It is my bag.
And Talos,
Yes.
the giant bronze automatron,
Yes.
was a big old mechanical servant. So essentially they were robots. And this is going back to ancient times. And this whole idea that this was a sentient being that was made by humans.
Yeah, just into Greek mythology because I do know a little bit about the story, although not massively. I can't pronounce the name. Are we going with
Hephaestus.
Hephaestus?
Hephaestus, yeah.
Hephaestus.
Yeah.
Created Talos as it was like a bronze, kind of like a bodyguard essentially for Crete. That's what he made it for. It was to protect Crete. And I can't remember if it was to protect Crete now, or now that my brain is kicking into gear, or whether it was to stop people from leaving Crete. I can't remember now which way round it was. But he's one of the most misunderstood gods. Because he's one of the 12 Olympians. Yeah. And he is the one that's responsible for basically making all of the weapons. So like Zeus's bolts, for example. Yeah. Apollo's arrows, yada yada yada. And he is the only god in Greek mythology, because gods are supposed to be perfect beings. He's the only one that has a disability.
Really?
Yes.
What was his disability?
He has basically a gammy leg. Like, I don't know how else to say it in another way, but in scripture, like, it's different depending on what you read and what stories have been told and how it's been interpreted again in modern life. But essentially, there is something wrong with his leg, and it's supposedly something to do with the fact that because he's like making stuff all the time and he's leaning on that particular leg, that's kind of like he's developed a limp. In other things, he's got a shriveled leg. In other depictions, he's like in statues and stuff, the leg is just missing. Like there's so many different stories about his leg, but yeah, he's the only disabled god in Greek mythology. Sorry, fun fact for everyone there. Because I was looking into I'm very interested in Greek mythology, so so I happened to look into that one because I was like, I wonder if there's any disabled gods, just for my own self,
just for giggles.
Just some giggles, really. And he's the only one. Yeah, sorry.
There's also in Jewish folklore as well. There's a thing called a golem.
Yeah, so golems. I think that's what I was thinking of. The word I was thinking of when I was thinking of like a something to protect something. I think golems were made out of clay.
They were.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they again were sent to protect the village. They were a protection model, and they always have been to protect them against, I guess, who they thought were evil or who they thought were coming to attack the village.
There is actually a supernatural episode about a Jewish golem.
Yeah, I think golems are also in Minecraft, but don't hold me to that. Yeah.
So they're straight away. You've got kind of early, very very early kind of things of AI. That is kind of artificial intelligence, the golem, and also Talos.
Yes.
So going back to ancient times.
We.
It's Mitchell. Look,
Hello.
Mitchell's here.
Hello. Hi.
Did you want to come and say hello, Mitchell?
He doesn't want
No,
to
I
come
know.
and say hello. He doesn't want to come say hello.
So going to some key dates. So run through some key dates with regarding AI.
Let's go.
Yeah, there is between the 17th and 19th century. There were theorists like Descartes, Leibniz, and
Descartes.
Sorry, my eyes went a bit funny then. I was too busy trying not to laugh at the next name.
Leibniz?
No, Ada Lovelace.
Oh.
Because, yeah, there's a lady called Linda Lovelace.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and that's why I was just trying not to laugh at that. I won't go into that. And they discuss mechanical reasoning. So this theory was kind of there in the 17th, between the 17th and 19th century. This kind of this idea that there were machines with kind of thinking and reasoning behind it.
Descartes was very much on this bandwagon. I can't offer more knowledge there. Sorry, it's actually gone from my brain. But yeah, I remember studying Descartes, and I know that he had a lot of theories about this. None of which I can remember right now.
See, Hannah always preps for our episodes.
Well, my brain's working.
Yeah, but then of course in 1950. Alan Turing. You know who Alan Turing is?
Yes, I do. Yeah, Turing. So he, I mean, he's known for the Turing test, and he's known for basically code cracking.
Yeah, he cracked the Enigma code.
The problem with Alan Turing is that he was absolutely completely. Was he jailed and stoned?
He was jailed because he was
homosexual.
He was homosexual. He was gay.
Which is terrible.
Do you know they offered Alan Turing an option to not go in prison, and it was to have. What's it called? That therapy? Realignment therapy or something or other?
Yeah, like conversion therapy.
That's it, conversion therapy, yeah.
Awful.
Absolutely disgusting.
I think I would have chosen jail as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, so poor guy. So he basically gets more recognised now than he did in his life, which is sad.
Yeah, it is sad, yeah. I mean, he published...
I'm glad he gets the recognition, but a little too late.
Yeah. He published Computing Machinery and Intelligence, and that proposed the Turing test for machine intelligence. Yeah. So he kind of was a very big pioneer of AI.
Someone could say that he's the founding father.
Yeah, it has been said.
Yeah.
It has been said that he is the father of artificial intelligence. It was only 6 years later at the Dartmouth conference led by a guy called John McCarthy, and he was the one who officially coined the term artificial intelligence.
Any relation to Linda McCarthy?
I don't think so. I don't think so.
Maybe they made an intelligent sausage.
Mm-hmm. Intelligent sausage.
But vegetarian one.
Yeah. Oh, that's so you make a sausage that's intelligent, therefore making it alive. Linda McCarthy. No, that doesn't work.
An artificial
intelligent sausage.
So
then could you argue
intelligent vegetarian sausage?
Yeah, but could you argue then that it's actually then vegetarian because it thinks, therefore it is?
What a philosophical debate. Let's take that to Descartes.
Yeah.
Let's see what he says about that.
So have a think about that one. So creating a vegetarian sausage.
That's sentient.
That's sentient. Therefore, it's no longer vegetarian, is it?
Depends your definition on a vegetarian, I suppose, as well.
Meat. Well, you know.
Meat.
You know what I mean.
It's actually lack of meat.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So it's because you could even argue that some plants are also sentient. How does a sunflower know where the sun is? Has it actually? Is that a level of intelligence? Oh, we're going down a dark rabbit hole now.
I don't think anyone would ever eat if that was the case.
Exactly. So yeah, because plants do, don't they?
Plants live.
Plants live. So plants are growing. So could you argue that plants are actually, they do have life? What do you think to that, Bobby Dazzler?
I don't know how we got from Well, I do actually. It was me, Linda McCarthy. I've derailed us again.
Yeah.
I think we should move on because we're getting into a strange.
So 10 years
waters.
later, 10 years later, in 1966, ELIZA, the first chatbot, is created.
Lovely.
Yes. So bearing in mind, we're now 2025, and ChatGPT. What was that?
I was just being a little robot. I was being Eliza.
You're being like, yeah.
So
I
don't know why it has a weird accent. Carry on.
So we're 2025, and this was 1966. So we're talking, what's that, 50, 60 years ago?
Yes.
So the first chatbot was 60 years ago.
That's mad, isn't it?
And we're still saying that artificial intelligence is quite a new thing.
That's so mad.
Where it was, so it was really it was started to be thought about 70 years ago by Alan Turing. 16 years later, the first chatbot is created.
Yeah.
And now we're where we are.
Do you remember those little clockwork little men that they used to wind up? They're like Autotron things.
I remember,
weren't they?
yeah. I remember seeing a horror film about them as well.
Oh. Okay.
So then in the 1980s, it started to kind of gain popularity and used in business and healthcare. But in 1997, IBM,
Big Bag Boys.
Yeah. They created a system called Deep Blue, and that defeated a chess champion. So it was an AI system, defeated a chess grandmaster.
Poor Gary.
But again, that's when we go back to what we were saying before, logic.
Yeah.
So it's working things out. It's logic. It's kind of a logical way of doing it. Then in 2011, IBM's Watson, which is another program, wins Jeopardy against human companions. A game called Jeopardy in America.
IBM were making shit, weren't they?
Well, 2001: Space Odyssey. There was. You've ever seen that Stanley Kubrick's Space Odyssey?
Sure.
Okay. I'm sorry, Dave. I can't do that. That computer.
Yeah.
Was there. Its name was HAL.
HAL.
HAL, and look at where the alphabet is. IBM HAL. It's one letter back.
Cheeky.
Yeah.
What about it was actually AI was in a lot of media. I was thinking of Red Dwarf, the hologram.
Oh, what? Holly.
Yeah, Holly.
Holly and Hilly. Hilly and Holly.
And then obviously later we had.
They're all dead, Dave. Everybody's dead, Dave. Everyone's dead, Dave. Dead, Dave. Everyone's
That's
dead, Dave.
mine. That's mine.
That's cat.
That's mine.
Yeah.
And then also I was thinking of is it I, Robot?
Yeah.
Will Smith. Great movie.
Mm-hmm.
That was a sentient robot.
That was a sentient robot.
And then all the sentient robots went crazy and started killing humans.
Yeah. Ultron.
But Sonny was emotionally intelligent.
There you go. There could be the difference. And
sorry, carry on.
Oh God, what was God, what was the Steve Guttenberg film? Johnny Number 5. Short Circuit.
Oh, Short Circuit. Yeah.
Short Circuit.
Oh, and also Flubber.
Yes, Flubber.
Yeah, he had lots of robots because she fell in love with him, didn't she? The little pink robot.
Yeah.
It's like, who's Sarah?
Yeah.
Wally. Oh, Wally.
Oh,
yeah, Wally much later. Yeah.
Eva.
Do you think Wally is basically Flubber, but later,
Probably.
when the world has gone to shit?
It's not good. Well, tomorrow.
No, Wally is the
Wally,
because it's like set quite into the future.
Yeah.
It's basically Flubber.
Could be.
But it's the long-ended sequel of Flubber.
So we've got let's move on. Derailed. And then in 2012, which is a year later, the deep learning revolution begins with a guy called Geoffrey Hinton's work on neural networks. So again, it's got that kind of brain pattern neural networks. Google beats AlphaGo beats Go champion Lee Sedol in 2016. So you can see it's starting to kind of
I've not
speed
heard
up.
of any of these.
Have you not?
None of these chatbots I've ever heard of. AlphaGo is no.
Well, see, this is the thing. A lot of stuff goes on in the background that we don't know about. So when you think about
keep us in the dark.
When you think about the stuff that's being worked on now, we probably won't be seeing for another 10, 12, 15, 20 years. Yeah. But this technology is already there.
I think the first bot I ever heard of,
we ain't ready for it yet.
Like domestic bot I ever heard of was ChatGPT, which obviously came in 2022.
2022, yeah.
Now that's the first one I ever really heard of, but now we've got Gemini, Copilot,
Yeah.
like loads of different ones. Claude is another one. You know, that there are so many different ones out there.
Yeah.
Yeah, mad.
Yeah. I mean, even Grammarly.
Oh, Grammarly, yeah, technically,
Grammarly, yeah.
technically, yeah, AI bot.
Yeah.
Which is a weird one for me because Grammarly apparently like it looks through the tense of the thing that you're writing, especially if you're writing prose or something like that.
Yeah.
It will check your grammar and spelling, but it just goes one step further and checks your tense, checks your third person, first person, second person. I can't remember what the actual intelligent word is for that, but it checks all of that as well. And I just think that is really clever, but is it what's the word, like, is it
Well,
is it right? Is it correct?
Well,
because I feel like that is something that a human would be able to do better.
Yeah, I mean, this is it, and this is where a lot of things this is one of the biggest debates that I've always that where we not forget things, but we lose that skill because things are made easy for us.
Yeah.
It's that whole thing of, I mean, even like when you go back to being hunter gatherers, and you see it on like TikTok videos, you see it on like the survival lists. Well, that kind of information and that kind of we would have known about. And we would have just done a second nature, like farming and all of that. But because things are made easy for us by technology, we lose that skill set. So if that technology was to go, we would be completely screwed.
Yeah,
It's like even like driving and sat-navs. We never used to have sat-navs. We used to have maps out and all that, where what we'd do before we'd go out on a journey, we would work the journey out before we went and see which we would go, right down, like I say, we need this road, that road. Now, you just put the sat nav on and you just follow it, and you don't have to think.
I was actually going to make a point about calculators.
Yeah, okay.
Now, calculators obviously been around for a very, very long time, but I would say they're probably the first model of losing that ability to do something.
Yeah.
Because I don't know about you, but when I do maths in my head, I do the maths, I think I'm right, but then I check it on a calculator anyway, just to make sure, because I don't trust myself if it's correct.
Okay.
And I remember doing my exams, GCSE this was, so we're going back quite a few years for me now, more for you. But yeah, there's a maths exam that you do without a calculator, and then you do a calculator exam.
Yeah.
And I remember distinctively Nana saying to me, oh, that, like, you know, back in my time we didn't have a calculator exam, like that wasn't like a thing. And so we had two separate ones. And I'm wondering if now today, do they still do two separate exams, or is it all on the calculator?
I don't know. It's been a while.
It's been a while. I'll ask my younger.
I mean, see, this is
peers.
This is another big argument as well about. So when people write dissertations or write essays,
yes,
the use of AI, and is it because?
And they use AI to determine whether AI was used.
Yeah. You can tell. Yeah.
What I think they need to start doing in schools, I think we've discussed this before, is teaching using AI in an effective way to do something. So instead of saying, don't use AI in this exam, why don't they say something along the lines of, let's see how we can develop something in AI with this exam. They need to make it part of the curriculum, as opposed to going, you can't use this at all. Because the way the world is going, like we've already said in this podcast, is that, we'll get to a point where it's taking away that AI is taking away that original skill that we had, and therefore I can't bloody speak now. Maybe I need AI to speak for me. So they need to make it part of the curriculum, as opposed to saying, no, you can't use it in this exam. Like they need another way of thinking about it.
Yeah, it is moving with the times.
Yeah, not university level. I'm talking like more like when you're at your primary and high school.
Yeah.
Maybe not primary. That's perhaps a bit young, but yeah, the high school side. They need to incorporate it into the curriculum, as opposed to saying no.
Well, when I was at school, we had I did do computing, and that's one of the reasons why I dropped out of school, is because when I was in the sixth form, because I was kind of forced to go down, and I wanted to be a creative person. I wanted to do drama. I wanted to do acting, and of course, family like, no, there's no money in that. You'd go into computing, and it was the wrong choice, and I wasted a year of my life because I realised I'd made the wrong choice. But I did learn a little bit about coding, a little bit about databases. Didn't give a flying toss about any of it because it didn't interest me in any way, shape or form. But when I think about BASIC, when kind of learned BASIC and how to write programs in BASIC, and then there was a thing called Turbo Pascal, which we were kind of writing in as well.
That rings a bell.
Yeah,
I don't know what that is, but that rings a bell.
But that was like literally coding line by line by line.
Yeah.
But it meant nothing to me. It absolutely, because that's not how my brain was wired.
And now, sadly, that's probably outdated, and that's probably written by some other engine.
Probably written by.
I'm assuming.
Yeah, written by
And maybe that language is actually redundant now.
Completely redundant.
Perhaps, I don't know.
Because I remember, as I say, we wrote in BASIC, and then BASIC went away, and it became Turbo Pascal.
Right.
And that's kind of what we were kind of writing in. But then, I then dropped out and went to drama school instead and had a much better time. So, but I've kind of forgot where I was going with this now.
Yeah. I was talking about calculators. I don't know where we got.
We have completely gone off on a...
On rail.
Yeah. Shall we go back to the script?
Yeah, we were just talking about. I brought up the point about using schools. They should use it as part of the curriculum. That's where you went with that.
Yeah, that's where I went with. Yeah,
I remembered now.
Yeah.
I am paying attention.
Okay, yeah.
Oops. Actually, shall we? We could end here on this diabolical note.
We could actually, because we are 40 minutes in, and then we could look at, because the next section is the future of AI and what's coming next.
Yeah, let's do that.
Let's do that.
Let's do that. Okay. If you enjoyed this episode of Bonus Dad, Bonus Daughter on artificial intelligence, we have others that are related to artificial intelligence and more intelligent than this one. Mostly written by AI as well, script-wise, but we are authentic. We are not AI videos. We are authentic humans.
Or are we? Or are we?
Or are we?
Or are we? Do we actually exist? Do we think, therefore we are?
Yes, we do. Yes, if you enjoy this episode, we have plenty more in the bank, and have a lovely day, and see you next time. Cue the outro.
Thanks for joining us on Bonus Dad, Bonus Daughter. Don't forget to follow us on all our socials and share the podcast with someone who'd love it. We are available on all streaming platforms. See you next time. Bye-bye.